How's it again? Stretton here. So you were clearly enticed by my first video on this story of the West Coast National Park. So thank you for following through and wanting to hear more. So my American guests and I had made our way from the Overberg back towards Cape Town and then to head north up the R27 towards Langebaan through the Milnerton Lagoon and Woodbridge Island region. And I was aware that there are flamingos usually spotted there. I live on this side, so we were actually treated to large flocks on both sides of the road as we were stuck in a little bit of Friday afternoon traffic. Usually avoided, of course, but thanks to a slightly overindulgent lunch at the amazing Beaumont Family Wines in Bot River, we were slightly delayed in getting started. So, but we were silver lining treated to these amazing birds, and the lesser flamingos, although seldom seen in Cape Town, as they're usually spotted further north, like in the Langebaan Lagoon area. They're the more numerous of the two, a population about 2 million strong. But despite this, the lesser flamingo is actually classified as near threatened due to its declining population and low number of breeding sites, which are adversely affected by human activity, of course. However, when you see them together, which as we did, you can actually see the difference between the two. So if you're interested, the greater flamingo is about 50% bigger than the lesser flamingo. The greater flamingo's plumage is also sort of ballerina pink, if you like, and paler than the more electric cotton candy pink of the lesser flamingo. The greater flamingo also has black tip wings and beak, whereas the lesser flamingo is more of a fully sort of dark purple beak, similar to these guys, actually. I'd say this is a lesser flamingo. Fun fact, they live an incredibly long time, one of the longest living birds. They're about 60 years in the wild. The longest recorded, oldest at least, recorded bird was 83 in Adelaide. So this leads me now to the West Coast National Park and the bird life one can see throughout there, which is just absolutely magnificent. It actually hosts a total of 300 bird species annually, which is a quarter of South Africa's total. The 40,000 hectare West Coast National Park provides a safe haven for thousands of seabirds who roost on the sheltered islands and pristine beaches. You'll find bird species like the curlew, sandpiper, sanderlings, red knots. They journey about 15,000 kilometers each year from their breeding grounds in Siberia to our summer feeding grounds in the Langebaan Lagoon. The lagoon itself was designated as a wetland of international importance in 1988. So other sought-after species for avid birders include the vulnerable black harrier, which we saw several times on this trip. You've got the white-throated canary, you've got grey-winged francolins, you've got Karoo lark, Karoo scrub robin, Karoo prinia, white-backed mousebird, grey tit, many, many more. So on the way up, we also, incidentally, just out of interest, we pass Africa's only nuclear power station, Koeberg. And I have to mention this because it's very interesting. It's surrounded actually by a 3,000 hectare nature reserve. Plenty of flora and fauna, lots of mountain biking trails, hiking trails. You can actually see in this nature reserve. Koeberg contains 2 pressurized water reactors and ranks amongst the safest power stations in the top ranking reactors of its vintage. It was actually one of the first nuclear power stations specifically designed to resist earthquakes. So the reactors at Koeberg were built on the basis of a 1970s hazard study to withstand a magnitude 7 earthquake. Now, the largest recorded earthquake in Cape Town area was a 6.5 magnitude at a place called Jan Bisieskraal, which is now the Milnerton area, in 1809. So as we continue further north, we'll come across the San Culture Center called the Kwatu San Culture Center, where you can experience the ways of one of the oldest cultural groups in the world and the oldest in Africa. So stay tuned for the next episode and I'll tell you all about that.